Hello everybody, welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. Today I'm talking about laughter. Yes, I am, in therapy. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So, does laughter have place in therapy? Is laughter appropriate in therapy? And my answer to that is absolutely. Absolutely. Always. In fact, there are people who run laughter therapy sessions. What are they? They are, and I've been to a number of them, and they are incredible. That's where you go and he gets you to laugh, or she. Yeah? Just literally to laugh. And what happens is, as you start laughing, right? But apparently the body cannot distinguish between a pretend laugh and a real laugh. When you pretend laugh, because of the anchoring that you have in your body thinks it's laughing. And what happens when you go to laughter therapy is that you start pretending to laugh and then you end up laughing. You really do. Yeah. So what is important? What's so important about laughter? Well, you know, they do say laughter is the best medicine. That's not said lightly. But how do you manage laughter in your therapies? If somebody's comes to you and they are extremely depressed and they are very sad, that probably wouldn't be the time to make them laugh. In fact, it probably wouldn't work. No. There's a process in therapy of helping people to get out of the really bad area, the bad place. And as they come out, then lighten it up, okay? There's a stereotypical therapist that we see on all of the films, which is the one who sits behind the client so they can't see them. Bad move. Bad move. It's a bad move. Yeah, eyes on the client. This is what I say in my courses that I teach. Keep your eyes on the client. Your client is giving you constant feedback. So they sit behind. This is what we say. Sit behind. They've got glasses on, normally partway down the nose. They've got a clipboard and they're taking notes. And they are as miserable as sin. They are flat. So tell me about your childhood. Okay? That's not what... In therapy, you as a therapist should be animated. You need to be animated with the people. Okay? That doesn't mean that you need to be happy, ha, ha, ha. No. You need to be animated. When you say something with meaning, with passion. When you're saying something serious, you say it with passion. When you say something light, you say it with passion. Mean what you're doing. Yeah? That's a good therapist. In my book, right? None of this like, like an interview. It's not an interview. This is an interaction. And remember, every emotion that you can inculcate, that you can create inside of your client is something that's changing them. Okay? So if they're very, very sad, what you don't want them to be is very, very sad all the way through the session to the end and then let them go away very, very sad. If that's the case, you've done a crap job. Right? Your client must, and this is like a priority, this is your number one priority, they must come out of the session feeling better about themselves. That's it. If they don't, either they're in a very, very bad place or you've done a very, very bad job. One of the two. Okay? And so if they do go out just the same, then you can say, well, they must have been in a very bad place. I've given you a get out clause. Okay? But you do want your client to feel better. How can you do that? Well, with all of the processes that we've talked about and the processes that you've learned on the courses that you've done, but also you do that by injecting humour. Yeah, why? Why do we do this? Well, if you want the kind of the scientific explanation, when somebody's very sad, they have anchored sadness into them, or whatever it is, depression or anxiety, they're anchored in that place. They've got it going round the body. What you have to do is get their body to do something else. Why? Because if you mix a negative anchor, sadness, anxiety, depression, with a positive anchor, happiness, laughter, if you mix it, what happens is it neutralizes. And you can actually do this as a process in NLP of balancing out a negative and a positive anchor to get a neutral state. So that's the whole purpose of making somebody laugh. It's a skill, right? But what kind of laughter would I use, for example? When I'm, and a good example is with EFT, when I'm taking somebody from a very bad place and cry, ooh, and first of all, I wouldn't be taking them straight into laughter. You know, let's deal with the sadness. Let's deal with the sadness, deal with the sadness. Get them to a neutral place of, hey, it's okay. And then take them into the bizarre. Take them into the ridiculous. Take them into the, well, that's just stupid. That often makes people laugh. People want to laugh at the stupidity of what they're scared of, frightened of, sad about. They want to laugh about it. You know, we have this inculcated. You know, I'm sure I'll look back on this and laugh, right? We say that. When in a really bad place, we go, goodness, I look back on this and laugh, I'm sure. But at the moment, right? In fact, one of the processes that I've done all of my life is this. Well, actually from about when I was 16, because that's when I learned that I could tell a story and make people laugh. When something bad was happening to me, I would think, and I still do, this is going to make a great story. This is going to be so funny when I tell this story. That just reframed everything for me. So suddenly, the worse the situation became, the better my story was going to become. Right? So that's kind of the idea of this, is when you're in a bad place, let's find the humor there. Let's find out. Now, I'd be experiencing something bad and planning my story about making it funny and, yeah, mad. So humor is very, very important in therapy. Sometimes it has been the case where I have made light of something and the person hasn't liked it, right? Or the person has thought that I was laughing at them. So you've also got to be careful with that, and that's just a judgment feel. But don't think that that's bad, okay? Because if you take a look at provocative therapy isn't just making people laugh. It's making people very angry also. Because all you're doing is, I want them out of that state. When you're out of that state, it can never be the same again. When you've got another emotion that's mixing with that emotion, then it's changed. Remember, the secret of therapy is we have to change the person's perception. That's it. And if that perception is an emotional perception, that's what we want to do. But I like humor. I like to use humor. I like to reframe things in a funny way. I'll give you an example. This morning, my niece, she's starting a new school tomorrow. They've been here for the weekend. I was dropping them off at the airport, and my sister said, is there anything you can do? I was driving. Is there anything you can do? She's biting the side of her mouth. She's quite anxious. She was anxious at 7. All right? And so we were going round, and I was just getting her to repeat stuff and whatever, you know, oh, I'm so scared on the EFT. But then I said to her, so how are you feeling now? She went, well, I'm about a 5 who went down from 7 to 5. And I said, so what's the worst that can happen? What are you scared of? And she said, I'm scared that the teacher might be bad. All right? But there's a lot of car noise. And I said, you're scared that the teacher might be fat? That's what I heard. And she laughed and she said, no, I said bad. So, okay. So we started again. And I was saying, oh, maybe she's a bad teacher. Maybe she's a really bad teacher, like a bad dog. And she laughed. And I said, oh, maybe she's bad. And maybe what's even worse is she's bad and she's fat. Okay? Ha, 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 ha. So she started to laugh about the thing she was worried about. That's it. It's job done. When people start laughing, they can't go back and think about it in the same way. They have to go back and think about the teacher being fat, right? And because it's a silly thing, you know, a little bit. And you know, being politically incorrect is also very good, right? in therapy, like pushing the boundary just to make the person, if you can make the person go, what? That's terrible. Feel what it feels like in your body when somebody pushes your boundaries a bit. That's what you want to do. Yeah. So always, if it's your style, if it's not you, don't do it. Don't force it. It's got to be a natural thing. But I'm telling you that humor should always form part of your therapy. It's a very important part, and it can make massive change in your client. Okay. So I hope that helps. I'll speak to you all later. I love you all.